right? They're here to make money. They're here to establish their own goals, but they have no interest in seeing the overall prosperity of the country. They may say one thing or the other, but ultimately they can back out any point they want.
Welcome back to our channel, Richard's Family Legacy. We're going to document our journey to building our family legacy, and I'm Jermaine Richards.
I'm Camille Richards, and we are two siblings that are working together to establish our goals. And we're bringing it to you every Sunday on this channel to see, and we thank you for coming back.
So today we're going to talk about creating the business plan. So this is a fun topic. It's an interesting topic. I think it's a needed topic because all businesses that are successful, I'm sure they don't become successful off of the just out of the air, right? They have some sort of plan. And the thing though with plans, I don't think they always go to plan, but I think it's important to have one nevertheless. So let's create a plan. I'm excited. I've been looking forward to create this plan all week, and I think we have some pretty good talking points. So
Jermaine,
where
have
do
you
we
created a
begin?
plan before?
Pardon?
Have you created a business plan before?
I have. Not into the detail that we've looked into here, but yeah, I
Mhm.
have created several business plans before.
I've
Yes.
never. I've
Okay.
never created one before. I have no clue what this is or like how to do it. I've done research, I've read some stuff, but I'm lost. Like I don't know 2 cents from 2 cents. So can we maybe start with going through like why we need a business plan, maybe?
Yeah. So why do we need a business plan? It's a roadmap, right? It's
Mhm.
the where the heck are we going? You remember those days when we used to have to print out the Google directions to go
Google.
somewhere? That in my
You
day
mean
when I was driving,
MapQuest?
well,
It
I
was
used
MapQuest.
Google,
No,
wasn't it?
It was
It was
MapQuest.
it was MapQuest. Okay, so you
And you're
printed
the
it
older
out.
one.
You printed it out though,
Mhm.
and you're looking at the directions where to go. I think that's the purpose of our business plan
Okay.
and why we need it. Now, like I said, it could change along the way, but we still need, I think, some direction.
I did come across like some article, and I mean it was some random blog post that said that the majority of companies that have a business plan, like 30% are more 30% more successful, more profitable. They just function a lot better in the business place. So I guess it's a good thing. It's more work, but it's a good thing.
It is a lot of work for sure. It is a lot of work. And so how about we try it? Like I've never created a business plan for this specific entity or discipline, I would say. So this is
Okay.
completely new to me, right? I'm learning as I go. But the thing about the Richards is we don't mind learning as we go. So we're gonna figure it out. Are you ready?
Yes, I guess so. Yes, I'm ready. What are the components of a business plan? That when I was looking it up, I saw on the SPA, which I think is like the US small business website, there are two different types of business plans. There was a traditional,
Hmm.
and then there was the lean. So and there were several components, and I looked across actually a couple of different countries because again, we are coming from a place where you're in Canada, I'm in the US, and we're looking to build in Jamaica. So I looked in those three places. So I looked at the US, I looked at Canada, which has, a very similar website. And then I looked in Jamaica, which they don't really have a website per se, but they have a couple of companies that maybe do funding, and they said this is a business plan.
Hmm.
And all of their business plans have very similar components for the traditional. Those components include, the executive summary, the company description, market analysis, organization and management, service line, product, funding requests, financial requests, and then like an appendix. I really am not, again, I haven't done a business plan before. I have not even taken a business class. So I've never put any of this together, nor have I like know exactly what each component involves. Are you familiar with any of these, Jermaine, at all?
So some of them, like I mentioned, well, before we go into that, can you explain to people that might not be familiar with when you use the terminology lean business plan and traditional business plan?
Yeah, so what on the SBA website, it showed that the traditional, which is the more common long form business plan that contained all of those specimens, is what people would expect, I think, for like banks or venture capitalists, whatever you're that's what you use. And then for maybe a quick business plan for a growing company or a quickly evolving company, there's like a one sheet business plan that kind of quickly sums up similar aspects of the traditional, but it doesn't go into depth. It's like one or
Hmm.
two sentences, which I mean, there was a couple of examples and it looked very concrete. Easier to make, may take an hour or two, where a traditional business plan may take several days, if not longer,
Right,
to make.
right. So going back to what you were saying, what are the different components and what they mean? Um, you start with example, both are going to have an executive summary. Okay,
Mhm.
so the overall idea of what it is you're trying to achieve, what's your mission, what's your business's vision, okay, and at a high level, right? At a high level, and the summary of what the market opportunity, what you're looking for, and what you're going. So that would be the basis of the executive summary. And then you have another part where's the description. So when we look at the description of the business, our particular business, I'm going to let you describe it because you have a way with words. So how would you describe our Richard's business?
So our goal, because right now we're still like in the infancy, I would say,
That we are.
is to utilize the short-term rental market in Jamaica to provide a unique experience to tourists, because we are coming from a dual background where we are and have been tourists. We've lived in Canada, and we have a concrete understanding of Jamaica, and not just surface level, but also heritage and a built-in, connection to this country and to this land. So we want to utilize that background to create a unique experience in the short-term rental market, to then extrapolate from that to build our family wealth, so that we have generational wealth while still building up an economy that belongs to us in kind of a very open terminology. We can always build in Canada, we can always build in the States. It's easier, sure, but why build somewhere that's does not owe us anything? And not that Jamaica even owes us anything, but we that's our land. That's where we come from. That's where our blood is. Why not go back there to build, right? Why not share that wealth with those people, the people that share our blood and share our heritage? I have no I love Canada, but I have no connection to that land. So
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Sorry,
So
that's a
you're
little
you're right. One of the points that you're making essentially is we come from there.
bit. Hmm.
Where our blood is from there. That's where our blood is from. So doesn't it make sense to give back
Yeah.
to the land that you're from? Um, and you had a great point earlier on. I'm sure you're going to elaborate on it when we're talking off camera. You were talking about um, the fact that we're from there. We're best suited from both eyes as a tourist because we live abroad, but we've also had spent time in Jamaica, so we see both aspects of uh, you know being from there, but also not
Yeah,
being from there. And when you take someone from outside and you can elaborate, and they invest in Jamaica, why are they doing it?
right. They don't have the best interest, at least from my view, right? They're here to make money. They're here to establish their own goals, but they have no interest in seeing the overall prosperity of the country. They may say one thing or the other, but ultimately they can back out any point they want.
Yeah, the comment section's gonna light up after that. But
Well, light it
the
up.
reality is the reality. Um, yeah, so building in your home is differently than building abroad. Like if I go and do something in Portugal, I'm not doing it, or Spain, I'm doing it because it's a business opportunity, right? And that's essentially your point.
Yeah.
Now, part of a business plan calls for solving a problem. A business in general solves
Mhm.
problems, right? What problem are we solving?
So I think we talked about it a little bit, right? Where we have a country that is being industrialized and built up, right? Like you see videos, I've been down there, you've been down there. There's a ton of construction in Jamaica, right? There's new houses, there's a mall, I think, being built in Ocho Rios, like stuff, is coming, but who is building it?
Yeah.
Right? Who is really building all of those structures? It is not returning Jamaicans. It's not Jamaican companies. It's companies from outside. Which, hey, yes, we need those things. Yes, that's bringing things to Jamaica that we didn't have, and it's outside money that maybe they don't have in Jamaica to facilitate. But why not focus on bringing those people that left to come back and invest, right? And that's, again, that's the problem that I'm solving. I'm trying to be a part of that wave of people coming back.
Hmm. Also, I think Jamaica is a very resourceful country. There's a lot of resources there, and very natural resources, but also I would say mindset resources. You sent a video to our family WhatsApp group about how wrought iron was invented. And I didn't know that it was invented in Jamaica. That was news to me. Um, I didn't know it was invented there. So when I saw that it was actually invented in Jamaica, right? But it
Mhm.
was taken by, the British, and
Mhm.
they used it to build ships and build, buildings and all
Let's
this kind of
be
stuff.
let's be honest. They used it and they started the industrial, wave. That's what
Exactly.
started everything in North America. Without steel, there would be
Where
so
would we
many
be?
things.
Where would we be
Yeah,
without
we
steel?
would still be using stone.
Exactly. Right. But that was
Like that's
invented in Jamaica. And I think part of the problem that we're solving too is to keep the resources where the
yeah,
resources are. And I think the Jamaican people
absolutely.
need to benefit from its own resources. I think it's enough that foreign countries are benefiting from the Jamaican resources, right? More than the Jamaicans.
Yeah. I mean, look at like bauxite. All the bauxite leaves Jamaica. We don't, they mine it. Maybe the truck drivers bring it back and forth, but who owns the bauxite? I don't know. Maybe Jamaicans do. I don't know. And then it gets shipped to some other country to then be made into aluminum and then made and sold. So do we get any of that money outside of that? I doubt it. I
Yeah,
highly doubt it.
exactly.
And it's very common in the Caribbean. I actually was like when I was in Trinidad, the driver that we had, he talked about how Trinidad has um the asphalt, right? They have like an asphalt mine, and the people, I won't name countries, but they come, they take the asphalt, they go make tires out of them, and then they sell the tires back to Trinidad,
Comment in
right?
the
So, and
chat
then
box if you know who those people are, who those countries are.
but and it's just it's crazy. And like I understand limited resources, maybe we don't have space, but I just feel like all of that needs to be brought in, right? And I feel like there's so much more opportunity for Jamaica to grow and for the Caribbean to grow. And it's just being wasted and sold bit by bit that it like it honestly it hurts my heart sometimes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, and it's, I don't know, like I just don't know why it's not a bigger push. There's so many people, and maybe we're getting off track, but there's so many people that have left the Caribbean, right? Everywhere I go, everywhere I have lived, I have met Jamaican people,
Yeah.
right? And why, like, what is it? What is it that we don't want to go back to build our country, right? And you can say, oh, you didn't you weren't born there, you didn't grow there. No, I didn't. I will be completely honest. I grew up in Canada. I grew up in a different country under different circumstances, but why, we want to complain, right? We want to say, oh, Jamaica is this, Jamaica is that. We don't have, or, it's dangerous. But no, everybody is running and leaving. Nobody wants to stay. Nobody wants to, make it better. They want to go to North America to live this and this life. I know it's hypocritical. I lived that life. I benefited from that life. But why not go back? Why not get the goods and go back?
Bring it back. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. The mindset shouldn't be only for me to go and get better, but how can I go and get better, but also make the country better, right?
100%.
Bring it back. And that's kind of, I think, the biggest problem that we're trying to solve. Bring it back. You and I, we're resourceful, and I think we'll be able to bring a lot and a ton of value back into the country, keep it into the country where it
Absolutely.
rightfully belongs. So that this is our solution. This is our
Exactly.
solution.
That's the problem and the solution.
That's the problem and the solution. I love it, right? And by the way, I think that's a solid business plan right there, right? It might not be the business plans that are developed in business Harvard Business School or anything, but it
Hmm.
touches the heart. It means something. There's a purpose
Absolutely.
behind it, which is much more powerful in my opinion.
Hmm. Absolutely.
So who is our market?
So, tourists, all the tourists, everybody who wants to come to Jamaica to travel is our overall tourist, or, overall market. And I will say, somewhere, where was it? Was it Berlin? Something. Someone just named Jamaica like the top destination of 2024, by the way, which, I mean,
Oh yeah, I didn't see
question.
that.
I'll send you the post. It was on Instagram. I mean, clearly. But, it's just, yeah. So, I mean, it's a great destination. People always want to go to Jamaica, right? There is nobody that I've met that I've like, oh, I've been to Jamaica. I never want to go back.
Yeah,
I've never heard
exactly.
that come from anybody. And if it came from you, you're just sour. You're like, there's something wrong with you. Like, so yes, Jamaica is a top destination. Who doesn't want to go? It's a great market, right? And more people want to experience outside of the hotel now, right? They want to experience the island, not just the beaches, not just, the all-inclusive resorts,
Hmm.
so, like while Sandal is nice, the rest of Jamaica nice too. So, and I
Yeah.
think that opens up those tourists to that.
Yeah, so we kind of have, um, and I'm backpedaling here a little bit, two parallel business opportunities happening here, right? One
Mhm.
is that short-term rental. The second is this YouTube channel. Um, and we're kind of doing both simultaneously, all right? Building
Mhm.
both the audience here on the YouTube channel and I think it in itself will bring awareness to some of these challenges and issues that we're trying to solve as we continue to grow. Now, um, let me put it this way. How are we going to market ourselves? How are we going to get out there? How are we going to reach the people? One of them obviously is this platform that
Hmm.
that we're on. Um, let's brainstorm. How can we reach more people? A, for awareness, and B, for them to see and come and try Jamaica and see how beautiful it is, right?
Yeah.
And experience that.
So I think right now with our limited capital, social media is the first and foremost. I think, starting with this channel and then extrapolating to, Instagram, etc. Right? As we start to grow, that's going to be our major, because that's how I find different places to stay.
Mm,
Um, then, also utilizing services on the platforms where we list is going to be the other. And then word of mouth. We have a big, 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 big family who occasionally travel to Jamaica, who need places to stay, right? So that is also a resource for us, and they have friends and people who also travel. So I think those are good starting points. Outside of that, marketing, maybe we can look at potentially being on different tourist websites like Visit Jamaica or etc., if we continue to grow and when we continue to grow and expand.
yeah. Yeah. Awesome. I love it. I love it. That it seems like it's I don't know if you feel this way. It seems like it's a dream, but
Hmm.
as the more we talk about it, the more it becomes more concrete, the more
Yeah.
it's materializing. Now, businesses, many people they think about the revenue, which we'll talk about. Um, but has expenses, has ongoing expenses. It has capital requirements. It takes money. You mentioned with the limited capital. Let's touch point on one or a couple of those um, capital requirements. What are those money requirements that's going to take? So anyone that's looking to build a business in any format is going to require capital, but looking through the lens of this
What we are
business,
going to do.
yeah, what's it going to take?
So for us, the first thing is going to be that down payment. Um, and I think I had sent you the last time I went to Jamaica, I actually went to the bank. I went to Scotiabank and I asked them for like their requirements. And I think they wanted 20% down, right? I think that's what it
20,
was.
yeah.
Yeah. So we need 20% of the we need 20% of the cost of the house as a down payment. And that's going to be cash. That has to be liquid if we're going to do a mortgage, which is most likely what we're going to have to do because neither of us have the amount of money it would take to buy a decent size place cash.
Cash, yeah.
So that is going to be number one. So the down payment and mortgage fees, all of that goes into buying a house or buying a property. The second is going to be if that property needs any renovations, so payment for that, money for that, as well as furnishing. All right. And furnishing, if we decide to furnish with places or with pieces from North America shipping, although maybe we
Hmm.
can use that. Um, uh, we have to be resourceful.
We can just
Um,
sneak it in his shipments.
good, why not? You won't notice. I can just ask nicely, like, please. Um, and then there's going to be listing fees. No one is going to let us list our place on their website without a cost. So that's going to be a part of the amount as well. Um, what else? What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something.
Did you mention furnishing?
Yeah, I remember I'm going to sneak it on to dad's.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're gonna sneak it on. Well, we have some ongoing expenses that's gonna be there, right? We're gonna have to clean the place. Um,
Mhm.
some of y'all are messy, okay? Some of the tourists are very, very messy. Um, so
I
yeah,
wonder if them keep them house like that.
Cleaning, cleaning costs are definitely going to be there. Um, Property tax is a thing. We got to consider property tax. There's also
Insurance.
insurance. Yeah. That's also an ongoing cost. And these are things that just won't go away, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Just continuous. So yeah, we talked about a couple of items that are required to build a business plan or create a business plan. Our team. Who's going to be the team? What does the team Richard's family legacy look like? The RFL team. What does it look like? You're looking at it right here. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Um,
It's me and you, Jermaine. You'll never get rid of me.
so talking about the both business aspects, right? One of the ideas is to define the roles. And it's interesting when it's with siblings, right? Um, because each has our own strength. I guess this is with anyone, but each has their own strength and weakness, and we're still defining those roles with the uh, the real estate side, right? We're still in the infancy stage. We're still kind of defining that, but we kind of figured out ourselves when it has come to the YouTube aspect, right? Um, how would you define our roles?
So let me start with this. This week we have been trying to meet. We've been trying to have like a conversation at some point. And we have not been able to do that because this one takes forever. Um, and I like to go to sleep at like reasonable people's time. So we have not been able to discuss anything prior to today. So I've been working on figuring out, talking points, putting together agendas for this episode, for this meeting, while you've been doing the editing and kind of the fine detailing of our last episode, which if you have not watched, please feel free to go
Please.
watch it.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I would say, you are probably more on the productive side of it, like the production, right? Where I'm like the writer and the planner, if that makes sense, because I know nothing about making videos. But yeah, you're like the editor, you're doing the production part, you're putting the final piece together. And I'm like coming up with some of the ideas and trying to fine tune that part, and then we're coming together to make it one at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I think it works well. I think
Yeah.
because you and I both said this off camera that, man, how do people do this by themselves? Like
Mhm.
after editing the video and I'm looking at all the planning that you put into it, I'm like, wow, if I had to do that and this, like
Yeah.
it's tough, man. It's like a full-time job.
It's a full-time job. I mean, you know how many videos I have on like my phone, on my like on all of my cameras that are just sitting there because I don't want to edit them. Maybe I can just give them to you and you can edit them for me.
Business idea,
Hmm.
revenue stream idea.
I'm sure somebody has, I think there is a thing for like people and their vacation videos, but yes, yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's yeah, but yeah. I mean it's easy to take the video. The rest is putting it together is, making it production worthy. It's a lot of work.
it is. And putting the planning is a lot of work. Uh, one of the things you're good at is coming up with like our ideas, for example. Camille is like a machine. Yo, she's a machine when it comes to coming up with ideas. And she's very creative in her own right. So it's a good team. I think it's a very good
Yeah.
team.
I mean, and you did well with putting together the logo. I mean, you made the logo, you found these little clips to put together for our last video, which I didn't even think of. So you did a really good job and it's very seamless. I did watch it on 1.5 though, because it was long to watch. We're gonna have to work on the length like we were discussing.
Yeah, and we will. We promise you.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, our first goal, um, is to hit 100 subs. Okay. So if you can subscribe if you haven't, share it, forward it, let your neighbor watch it, let them subscribe. We would be gratefully appreciative. 100 subs. That's our first milestone.
Yes. So please like, subscribe, follow, all of it. We would appreciate it very, very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What what does success look like in the real estate side?
So from where we're sitting, I would say buying our first property, right? Or we could even go for getting approved for the mortgage. We could even say that. But, getting those steps to finding and buying our first property is number one, right? Because we can't do anything until we do that.
Hmm.
And then followed by that would be then successfully having our first rental, our first renter,
Yeah,
right? And, positive reviews and moving from there.
agreed. Love it. Love it. Love it. So we basically have two separate major milestones. One is successfully renting out a purchase property, and 200 subs. We're gonna
And
do
you
both.
can help with one of those.
Yeah, agreed. 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 All right. Anything we wanna talk about today?
So, no, I think what we've done is we've laid out our business plan for our followers, our watchers to see where we're headed, right? Where me and you plan to take them on this journey. So last week you saw what our dreams were, right? And why we're doing this. Now you get to see how we plan to do it.
Yep. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you back next week.
Yes, again, please subscribe. If you like this video, like it, share it, show it to your friends, and please be back next week for Sunday for the next video.